But then if a Celt saw Latium, they'd probably feel the same. It's our home. It's ancient. Naturally, a Roman sees it running wild and wants to bring it to order, to heal. Expect a bit of resistance there, mind. It's two different worlds, sort of bound by fate, but divided in belief. Anyway, Albion knows how all that's meant to me.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rilo, and welcome back to Anno, Pax Romana. In our previous episode, we were busy setting up this small little island far to the left of our map, and this was mainly for us to gather the needed resources to build our pots, as well as building some olive oil. These are one of the two main resources that we need for our main island, and this is in order for us to move up to the next civilization tier. So as you can see, we are currently satisfying all of the needed requirements for that. Just see that the olive oil need is still a little bit low, so we'll address that in due time. And we have started to settle one of the larger islands on the map, and this is for us to try and expand our military. So having a proper military in the game is really important, and this will allow us to have a bit more of an influence around the surrounding civilizations, and also help us not to get overrun by anyone else, because I mean, not having a military really poses a big risk for us. Let's see, there's an empty... yeah, let's just understand and continue. Didn't really read it. So our main island, everything seems to be going really well. All of our main resources are taken care of. I believe we have enough of our... you can actually see in our resources, we have enough... okay, soap is still a little bit on the low end, but that is because of lavender. But we'll see, maybe we can increase our lavender production overall. But for now, I think for the time being, we are in a very good state. Just some happiness and fire safety that needs to be taken care of, but there is some research that we will be able to handle. I think currently we are busy doing the untapped soil, and that's just to allow us to grow all of the resin trees in any position possible, and then some water conservation, and this is for us to start getting the aqueducts and those things installed, which I think is going to be a very important and a very good thing for us to have. We do, however, need to start branching out into the military branch, because that is one of the areas that we haven't really paid too much attention to. So I think what we can do, so now we can remove those two research trees. I think even the untapped soil for now. We do need to maybe look at some of the military research, like especially like this one. I think encampment is very important. And then being able to do some armor smithing, some volleys. Yeah, these are all very important ones to have. I think we can go all the way down up until we get to the additional or different type of unit. So we're going to leave that on for research. It should go quite quickly, especially the first ones. But for now, I think we can start looking at upgrading our residents to the next tier. That will bring on its own additional set of difficulty. So the reason also why this bigger island has been chosen for military specific is because of the abundance of iron deposits and gold. So iron will be very important in order for us to produce the needed weaponry. And that's why we need it. And it has a lot of space, so we can have a lot of civilians living on that particular location. So I think the ones that we want to upgrade will be the ones closest to our governor villa. So we'll look at upgrading like this first row here to the next civilization level. So now we have equities. And these guys, again, have their own set of... yes, we will build an aqueduct soon, don't worry. So they do require wine and cheese. I believe cheese we need to get from the other map. I can't remember the exact name. And then we also need to start building the aqueduct and theater. So we just need to manage our planning around that just a little bit better. And we will start to unlock some of the other requirements that they do need. And I believe you will be able to get marble or better roads, unless we don't have that unlocked yet. So we can make the reach of our different buildings much larger. That will change a bit how we do our planning. So let's see, what can we do here? Albion. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to Albion actually.
So you do have convictions of your own.
Yeah, we'll try and go to Albion quite soon. Don't worry. Yeah, this one will still need to have that particular religion, and then for this island, I want to take Mars, because Mars is the one that will allow us to actually improve our creation of different products. I can see anything related to these research tiers or production sets that we can have a look at. So yeah, we don't have a devotion yet. We will start settling this island accordingly. So let's start with that. So mainly for this, the main goal will be population rather than actually optimizing the implementation of the different resources. So we can always bring any missing resources to this island, as we do have our main port island will be this island over here, where we will basically use it as our centralized location where we want to move everything around. So with these guys, we do have these additional buildings, but we're not going to focus on actually adding them yet. We do have a good income, so we have enough to work with from here. So obviously with all of the first islands, we do need wood. So I'm going to set up the basic infrastructure for this island to produce some materials and set up a small little settlement. And then we'll start building more of a military focused kind of area. So we'll proceed with that. After a little bit of building, we were able to put down our first iron mine. And this iron mine, I believe, will produce 1 iron per 27 seconds. A bit of a weird ratio. Maybe it's just because of the actual productivity not being that great. It might affect that. But the good thing is we do have an iron mine now, so we can start building the additional facilities that we need to start training some army. So first of which will be to build a furnace, and that has to then smelt the iron that we get, and the furnace, or the iron that we get from the furnace, will be used in multiple different parts. So our armor here, as well as our weaponry, will start using it. So for now, we just want to build a basic group of weapons, and the weapons will then allow us to train some units. So I think that will be a good starting point for us. So what I'll do is I'll start placing down some of these weaponry. So let's go ahead and head over to our weaponry and get some of our iron smelters built. I think 2 should be fine for now. We just need to be careful with our amount of workers. We don't have a lot of workers available to us. So we're going to build these 2 iron smelters, and then just a little bit down the road, you can actually let's just see how long a third one will be, just to have enough space. So we'll see the third one. Yeah, let's try and put it down like that. I don't know why it doesn't want to fit in properly. There we go. Yeah, so that one will just be a marker, so we can build the rest of our weapon manufacturing here, and we'll go along, see where we can fill it in. It is a bit of a strange place for the mine. We can possibly put the other buildings in a different location, but I think for now it's okay. So weaponsmith, I don't think we need too many of them. I'm also going to build 2 weaponsmith here. I think we just need some additional tiles for that to be built. So we'll wait for us to get some more iron, some more tile, and then we'll be able to actually have some weaponry. But while we wait for that, we can start looking at the barracks. So the barracks is where we will actually start training our units. And for that, we can choose a nice little location on this island. This is quite a nice and beautiful little island. So I think we can actually leverage this little section here and start making it look nice. So the barracks will be where we train our units. So it's quite a large building. So we'll place down about 2 of them around here, and try to make it look a little bit nice with some watchtowers and stuff, so that we can have a little bit of a safe area. So let's build this around the barracks. I'm going to put it around 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put 4 blocks past the actual barracks. Like so. And then we'll put it past it also about 4 blocks. Well, it's a little bit larger, so I guess we can put it around here. We can obviously make it look a little bit nicer afterwards. Not entirely aligned. There we go. So I have a little barracks area, and then we can build some watchtowers to protect it. Perfect, there we go. I don't think that watchtower... Oh, I can't put them that close to each other. Okay, that's interesting. So I think for the barracks we again need quite a few tiles. So I'm going to let the tiles accumulate and then we'll build the barracks and start training some units that we can take just to gain a little bit more influence to the area around us. Because that's kind of what we want to try and do so that we lower the risk of someone trying to attack us. We have finally set up our barracks. They've been built. And currently we are training some auxiliary soldiers for us. So hopefully if we just speed it up a little bit, we should get our first unit. So this will be our first unit of soldiers. Nothing much, nothing too strong just yet. But definitely something to help us. And we'll quickly send them to this location over here. Just so that we can align them. Yeah, let's put them there in front of the Mars statue. That might actually look really, really cool. So they will march along to wherever we need them to be. And this is now a way for us to start building up a military that will allow us to actually have some powerful force within the region. And it's very important for us to have that because we do play on the advanced difficulty and it might be a little bit difficult for us to really get past that point where no one is going to attack us. I think from an economic or a knowledge perspective, we will have to prepare ourselves militarily. It's a bit odd. They're jumping around, walking into the water. I don't know if that's a bit of a bug, but whatever. To each their own, I guess. We have expanded a little bit because we do need 43 Libertas workforce for each unit that we are training. That's where the bit of a difficulty comes in, to try and make sure that we have enough workforce on the island. Luckily, this island is quite rich in resources, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. And especially if you want to go to the higher tiers, you will need some more of our plebeian workforces, and obviously the further we get, we'll need our equities workforce as well to train the most high tier units. So these are kind of cheap throwaway units in a way, but they do take workforce from the particular island that they are on. That's why I chose this massive island, because the bigger islands are easier to build a large population. So what I've also done is I've expanded our olive fields here on this island to the very left. The olive fields are very, very important for us to make sure that the other islands are sustained with olives, because we don't have any olive fertility on any of the other islands. We might need to find a separate island here that does sustain olives. I don't think there are any. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a difficult one. Or we can just buy from someone else. That's also an option, which we might need to do on this particular island, because we just don't have enough olives to go around. So we might need to consider buying it. So our army have reached our statue of Mars. So let's just try and get them into a decent position, just so that they look nice. There we go. We have a nice army that we can start using. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.